Nerd News Cafe, Stir It Up, with Matt, Landon, and Justin.
Get ready to stir it up. It is round 18, guys. And I hope you're ready for your Thursday to get just a little bit better, just a little bit more pumped, and a little bit more comic related.
Legal maybe, because we are finally legal.
There it is.
I'm ready. Put me on the streets.
Get ready for all the nudity.
Good God, what podcast is this?
Well, it is Stirred Up, and I am Matt.
I'm Justin.
And I am comic book man, but not that comic book man, Landon Down.
Why are you comic book man?
Because of what I'm bringing to the table this week.
That mighty beard, that Kevin Smith beard.
I just want to give a little shout out to our audience here, because we are videoing this live to tape. Is that a thing?
It is now. Breathe it in, the internet. You're welcome.
We're finally releasing. We're gonna have some archive footage when we put this out, and I'm gonna be piecing some stuff together. So get ready, because it's gonna be in your face.
Yes, if you're listening to our Tuesday show, you know that is the name of our channel on YouTube. Nerd News Cafe, in your face.
In your face.
So are you ready for a comic book corner today?
Wait.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, now we're ready.
Yes.
Justin's comic book corner. I really need somebody to officially, make that happen for me.
We need fans to make music for us.
It'd be great.
Why did that sound Jerry Seinfeld when I did that?
We need fans.
We just need fans, period. So.
Oh, no.
What's the deal with fans?
And music.
Yeah.
I mean, we just want music.
Look, I know nerds are creative, so come on, people. Get with the program. Help us. Oh, there. See? My golden pipes failed me there for a second.
You're pushing it too hard.
Mm-hmm. His golden pipes after surgery.
You just got the carburetor rebuilt. You can't hammer it.
It's true. All right. So this will be good, because now all these visual things I do during Comic Book Corner, I can display
That's
them.
the only reason he wanted this, guys, is because he's tired of describing the comics to you.
Mm-hmm.
This week, I picked up a lot of goodies, a lot of good stuff. I'm not going to cover it all, because this is going to be a joint comic book session. Everybody's bringing a little something to the table today, although Matt won't physically have something at the table.
I will not.
He's got stuff to talk about.
I do.
So I'm going to give you a preview of some things I picked up. I did pick up X-Men Gold #4 by Mr. Guggenheim. Introduction of Bandit into this storyline.
Bandit?
Gambit? Who's this guy?
Wow.
This guy with the cards.
Wow.
Bandit.
You know, I screw things up really bad.
I'm blaming the vocal
He
cords.
straight up said Bandit.
Bandit? See, Bandit? Bandit. Yeah, you know Bandit. The guy who puts energy into the cards.
I thought it was the dog from Johnny Quest.
You got. Oh my God, that's nice. That was a good pull. I like that. You know what? That's what you get for giving me so much crap about Windu.
Good night, folks. We're done. We're not topping that.
Moving on, I also got the Wildstorm #4.
Okay.
Continuing that story, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I know this is a kind of a restart. The Wildstorm existed a long time ago, and they've brought it into the modern era. I never had any background to Wildstorm. I am really enjoying this series. If you guys are interested at all, it's just at #4. It'd be good to try to get the back issues and catch up. It's really, really fun. There's a lot of good stuff going on.
Very cool.
Batwoman #3. You see that? I got it when it came out. Yeah.
That's a first, right?
Yeah. Mark the calendar.
And then Royal City #3 by Jeff Lemire. And this is the one I really want to talk about today, because I've talked about it before. I want to really encourage people to go out. This is an Image comic. It's an independent thing for Jeff Lemire. You know him from a lot of Marvel stuff, and he's well known as a very good story writer. He typically does the story. I don't know that he always does the art, but in this particular book, he does the story and the art. And this is a really complex, nicely layered story. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It is more kind of a mature thing. You don't have a lot of action going on. It's kind of suspenseful. There's a lot of stuff to really think about. And essentially, what's happening is you've got multi layers. It's a city that used to be this big booming industrial city, and now, as things have been offshored, technology's improved. Now the city's suffering because their industry is failing. So that's one of kind of the underlying themes of the story. The other is you have this family drama that's going on too, And obviously there's a member of the family who has passed away at some point. And this member of the family shows up to each one of the family members at a different stage in their life as a different person. I mean, a different stage of his life. So in the picture on the cover of this one, you can see that there's like a young, not necessarily a toddler, maybe an 8 or 9 year old holding hands with a lady here. And that's just one of the incarnations of this character. And it's almost like he shows up as whatever is needed for that person. So there's that kind of going on too. And then one of the cool things about this comic book series, at the back of the book, Jeff Lemire always does a letter to the fans. And one of the things he does is he suggests a soundtrack to listen to while you read the book. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He told me that last week. It was pretty crazy.
Wow.
So for example, in this one, if I just flip to the back really quick, this week's audio tracks include things like Vapor Trail, by Trespassers William, and Place With You by Astronautes, it looks like. Known to Run by Twin River, Run by Future Islands. So these are all things he feels like are really good, kind of setting the mood for the kind of tone of the content of the
Almost like a story
comic.
enhancer.
Exactly.
Wow.
And as we've learned with Guardians of the Galaxy, a great soundtrack really ups the game.
Seriously, are you going to be able to hear Mr. Blue Sky going forward without thinking of Baby Groot dancing around?
Never.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So there you go. So that's going to be my recommendation this week. A lot of good stuff coming out. I know Landon's going to talk more about Secret Empire, and I know that that's like kind of a big headline right now, so we're going to move on a little bit. I will say Batwoman, business is picking up in Batwoman. I'm starting to get a grasp of what's going on there. Still enjoying that story, but what's happening now, I will say that I'm less interested in the current events of what's happening with Batwoman than the backstory that they keep feeding me. So every comic, it keeps piecing in backstory for Batwoman, like what's happened to Kate Kane through the years and how she's gotten to where she is now. I'm way more interested in all that stuff than the story that they're currently telling.
Well, maybe they can turn it around for you. I mean,
so this obviously will run its course and they'll move on to something else. She's off by herself now. I told you about the aquatic bat cave. It's a yacht that they have parked off this island.
The bat boat.
Yeah, and it's got
lots of shark repellent on the side.
I'm drawing a blank on the name right now, but it's like it must be a descendant of Alfred because the last name's Pennyworth.
Okay,
someone that's sitting in the yacht helping Batwoman. There, one thing that's really
Balford?
cool. Yeah, Balford. One of the things that's really cool about Batwoman is she makes use of like the person in the yacht is controlling drones that can assist her.
Oh, that's cool.
So like she'll be out fighting and like when she needs assistance, these 3 or 4.
But she needs an Amazon Prime drop.
Yeah. Well, they
crap! I forgot my.
They can come in and do different things. They serve like a batarang purpose. In this issue, she jumps off a cliff, or actually, she kind of gets knocked off a cliff. The drones show up and they can attach to her, and it makes her bat wings.
Oh, that's kind of
so.
cool.
Then she flies off, and that was pretty.
That's cool.
That was pretty awesome.
I was going to say it almost sounds like the Iron Man, like Iron Army, but it sounds more like these drones can act as like nanotech.
Yeah,
it
kind
can
of
become
that.
whatever it is needed in that
It
situation.
is kind of like that. So that's pretty cool. So I'm still encouraging people to follow Batwoman's story. I'll be excited when this particular little piece of the story runs its course and we can move back to maybe to Gotham because I'm also more interested in the relationship with Batwoman and Batman.
Yeah.
So
I like that they move forward with technology because Batman's always got the same technology over and over again, but we're going forward. I mean, a grappling hook gun. I mean, how old is that? But
by the way,
probably
MythBusters
got
said you
something.
could never make something like that.
Well, you know what? MythBusters can kiss my ass because
Whoa.
hey, I don't like neither one of those guys.
Do not besmirch the Mythbusters.
I have myself seen one of their episodes that just was total horse crap. You can't shoot a propane tank and then explode. I have watched a propane tank explode.
Are you talking about the Jaws episode?
No, where they were shooting like incendiary rounds into like these big propane tanks out
And
in
they
the
weren't
desert.
exploding?
They weren't exploding. They're like,
kinda
oh,
weird.
it can't happen. I'm like, you're full of crap. Not only have I lit
I
one
used to
and
do
it's
that
took
on my
off-
aunt's farm.
I was going to say, yeah.
We have lit them at a warehouse and watched them take off, and then I have watched one ting spark and it blew the whole back half of something off.
Wow.
But do you have a show on Discovery?
No, I don't
Exactly.
have a horse shit show where I used to be a special effects wizard and I know
I just want to say
physics.
that Matt's thoughts do not reflect the opinions of Nerd News Cafe.
Amen.
As we
Seriously.
I am not a Mythbusters fan.
I enjoy
And you
the
know what?
Mythbusters.
That's why those guys hate each other, and that's why they don't have that show is because they're full of Mythbuster.
Can you believe this guy?
Nope.
Let's
Wow.
talk Secret Empire.
Seriously, yeah. Let's talk about stuff that will calm everybody down.
Let's talk about things that we thought were true that aren't.
That's actually a decent transition. Talking Secret Empire.
Segues.
Last week I talked about how I'd only read issue 1 because I thought,
That's
it's
where you
gonna
start.
at 1. Now, apparently this is one of these.
No, you don't start at 1.
Yeah, you start at 0.
start at
so
0.
I have picked up 0,
Center.
reread 1, and picked up 2, which came out this week. This is something that I didn't realize because I hadn't read 0. It looks like every issue in the Secret Empire, at least main story, is going to have a different artist. So the style from issue to issue is drastically different. Like the style from 1 to 2, like 1 is the more, I guess, common comic style you would think of, but then like in issue 2, it's more like washed out.
Yeah.
Like you have to like, I guess, use your mind to
This
put
looks
more of the
very
pictures together.
cinematic here,
Yeah,
yeah.
the cover for 0, I mean, with like Cap all busted up, and then the Hydra shield, or
Yeah.
right
That's
in the
one to
center of the
look at,
it
man.
is, and it's like I was reading 2 last night, and I put the comic down after I finished it. And I turned to my girlfriend. I was like, there's some stuff in there that just made me uncomfortable. Like it felt weird to read. It's like, obviously we talked last week. It's like, this is a storyline. This is the right is going to be wronged at some point. And
But right now you're trapped in Uncle Touchy's naked puzzle basement.
exactly. And I am not a fan of
Touchy's uncle. I don't even want to.
It's a Patton
I'm
Oswalt
done.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say.
shout out
goodness.
to Patton. But yeah, there is some stuff in there. It's like, just made your skin crawl. It's like in issue 1, I think I referenced it last week when Cap's talking to like all the Hydra higher ups, and he's treating them like his Secretary of State and stuff like that. Like, these are people that are actually making decisions that impact the world. It's like, this is uncomfortable. This is weird. And it's like, I will say in issue 2,
A little wild.
issue 2, which is issue 3. God, this is going to get confusing. But they do kind of talk about what I thought actually happened. Pause 5 seconds for spoilers. They do say that the Cosmic Cube has rewritten history.
Oh.
Which is what I
Okay.
totally thought was going to happen.
Yeah, you did call it.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, this is how we got to this point, but I am still curious to how we're going to get out of this situation, because in issue 2, they focus more on, I think they call them the underground, or they're not the Defenders. The Defenders are off in New York doing their own thing. And
Defending.
Exactly, yeah. And the underground is in what used to be Las Vegas, dealing with that.
Wow.
So I'm going to leave you guys issues 1, 2, and 0, 1, and 2. And like I said last week, form your own opinion. I want to get what your guys' thoughts on this in the future. Keep checking it out if you're interested in the Secret Empire story. Moving forward, obviously, I don't know if it's going to be an every 2-week release or if it's going to be a monthly release, but I will continue to bring new Secret Empire, and we will be giving away a digital code to Secret Empire number 2.
2?
Dos.
Okay.
But,
Sounds good.
Yeah,
No cero.
check it out. Again, form your own opinion. I'm starting to see why some people just straight up have a problem with this storyline and refuse to read it. But like I said, I'm interested. I want to see where it goes. And again, form your own opinion.
Yeah. Always. Don't be sheeple.
I just realized on this comic the star with the Hydra inside of it.
There's
interesting.
There's a lot of little touches
Yeah.
in this book that like it's the little nuanced things that can get in your mind. And it's like, I talked about it last time in issue 1 where they're talking where it opens in like a elementary school and they're talking about history.
Oh yeah, you said it was like completely
Like complete revisionist history about how like Hydra was, or the Axis were the good guys and the Allies used the Cosmic Cube to make everybody
Yeah.
think they won, and like the teacher correcting the kids. It's like, no. This Hydra agent was good, and then like you see her look in the corner and she's being watched.
Yeah.
So it's a little like, just
Yeah.
makes your skin crawl. a little bit.
little big brotherish.
Exactly.
And maybe a little close to home sometimes. too.
And like I said last week, I can definitely see why people don't necessarily want to read this storyline right now, because
Right.
comic is
Current
an
climate.
escapism. And it's interesting, like Secret Empire is Marvel's big thing right now, where Captain America is kind of the bad guy. And then one of the big things for DC right now is the Injustice 2 video game, which came out, and the storyline is kind of parallel, because in the Injustice universe, Superman snaps, kills the Joker, and then decides we're going to take care of crime, period.
Okay.
By any
Squash
means
it.
necessary.
He's done.
Exactly. So, I mean, he's straight up killing dudes, and it's like,
Boy Scout over.
and Superman fans are like, that is not what he does.
No,
I'd be
it's
down. I'd be
hard.
down with it.
It's hard. It's hard, but I mean,
That would open the door of Superman to me.
I think that's a good storyline to let you know who is tops and it's always soups.
Wow. Well,
Just remember,
I'm poofting.
just remember, necks get snapped if that man is not in control.
Well, and I will say this on Injustice 2, I've played it a little bit. You know what the tutorial is? You're Batman beating the crap out of Superman.
Yeah, for how long does that last? He doesn't even die.
No, but you're Batman. What I've played in the storyline, you're more Batman than Superman.
Yeah.
So.
I think they probably want to push on that because I think the whole story followed Superman on the first one, right? Wasn't the first Injustice all Superman doing crazy stuff?
It was Batman's underground fighting Superman's regime.
That's right. Yeah.
So it sounds good. I mean, I haven't been purchasing the Secret Empire because I know you've been pulling them, and I wanted it to be kind of your thing. But I'm interested to take a look at these books. So
I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah. Same with the listeners. I know Andrew C. issue 1, so I'm interested to see what his thoughts are. But even if we didn't give you a digital comic code or whatever, let us know what you're thinking. Hit us up on Twitter because, I mean, like I said, I understand why people don't necessarily like this storyline right now. So,
Yep.
Form your own opinion.
Yep.
Now, Matt, you wanted to talk a little bit about Star Trek in the comic book world, did you not?
No, I didn't know.
I think it's time for you to do it.
I read the Mirror, the first one in the Mirror little series they've got going on, and the other series, the Deviations that I spoke about, God knows how long.
You brought them up pretty strong on Free Comic Book Day.
I did. Mirror was really crazy. You're kind of following Barkley. And Barkley's kind of getting over things.
Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley's like,
go get the damn ball.
I'm tired of being an engineer. I don't feel like I should be down here. Capricorn, he don't know nobody.
That's a solid
Yeah,
Barkley.
good on you. Throw in a terrible and you nailed it.
That's so terrible.
There we
Just
go.
Tell me, Capricorn, he always telling people what to do. That's terrible.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
No. So Barkley, if you've watched TNG, was kind of this very neurotic engineering staff person who got addicted to the holodeck.
I could see that.
Yeah. So anyway, he in this universe, basically, you're in the Terrians have been, which is humans, have been forced into their own solar system. They can't leave it because the Klingons and the Romulans hold them there. The Klingons and Romulans can't come into our solar system for the simple fact of our defenses and our ships and stuff. But it's like a very hardcore, this is not your father's enterprise. This is very cutthroat. People die every day. If you want that guy's job, catch me outside.
How about that?
Catch me Tim Ford. How about that? So, I mean, it's very brutal. It's very harsh. If you want to see what that universe is like, Deep Space Nine did a ton of shows about the other side of the coin. Mm-hmm. But you're following Barkley, and he's kind of got his doubts about the way things are. He doesn't really want to be a part of this universe anymore. It doesn't feel right to him. Mm-hmm. Captain Picard's basically everybody. There's no sleeves in this place, and if you have sleeves, you probably have a little doubt. But he, I don't know. I don't want to give away anything if you guys want to read it. But basically, Barkley gets promoted because Picard just, guts his own man. Data is like just a cybernetic assassination machine. Like he's like somebody was in his way in the hallway, and he's just like boom, just blows him away.
Dang!
Because they were like scuffling with somebody else. He goes, "You were in my way," and he's like constantly pulling parts of himself off and working on it. And he is Captain Picard's number one. I haven't seen Riker in there anywhere. I don't know what's going on with him, but
You got shivved.
I'm bleeding.
And then Troy is like his number two, and she's like this, kind of sultry seductress. They're kind of using her for her sex appeal in this, but
Yeah.
that's the way this universe works. The other one is Deviations. Deviations is insane, but it's almost it's really cool. It's kind of like based off what the author, he has like the half of this comic is like him talking about why they did it, their ideas for it and everything. And it's a very Escape from New York kind of thing going on in there. But it starts out and you are following, you're on a dune buggy with Geordi driving, who of course is blind, and
seems like a good idea.
And he's listening to Data tell him or feed him information because Data's like this little lantern head he's got set on the hood, and he's helping him drive. And at some point, like these Romulan attack ships are following him through the desert. And the premise of this whole universe is that we didn't make first contact with the Vulcans, we made first contact with the Romulans who imprisoned us. Basically, they enslaved us. They've kept us down in prisons, mining colonies, stuff like that. They just basically, here's a civilization to exploit. So, in this universe, there's a lot of talk of this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like what we were supposed to be. This is not us. And, basically, Troy in this one is the badass. Like, she comes out of nowhere with this big Romulan ship and rams it into this prison, and they're trying to rescue somebody. They're going to get Picard. And you've got Riker, and he's got like his hair, like long flowing hair. He's got an eye patch. He's just whipping butts left and right. And then Data, I don't think Data's the head, of course. And then you got Geordi. I'm trying to think. I don't think Worf is. No, Worf is in there, but he's kind of laid back. And then they find Picard, and Picard's like, what do you want from me? They've been torturing Picard evidently for a long time now. He's written all over his walls. He's like bonkers crazy, they think. But no, he's just writing on his walls to keep it's Shakespeare all over his walls.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how he stays sharp. That's how he stays sane. So they get him, they find Crusher, and they have the old emblem. So somehow something's happened to this universe. They have the Federation emblem, which shouldn't exist if they made first contact with the Romulans. And Riker wears it as like a medallion, and he hands it over to Picard. He goes, do you know anything about this? He goes, I know where a colony is what this represents. So they're going to go find this colony, and they're kind of cutting through this big prison looking for stuff. And they come upon, and the last panel you see is this prison colony, this space prison colony or this moon or whatever, they're overlooking Earth. And in seeing Earth, you see everybody goes, I didn't think it was still here. And you see the original Enterprise, the 1701, the Kirk Enterprise is in lockup with a bunch of other ships. It's like, I thought they would have destroyed it. And I think Jean-Luc says, no, the Romulans always keep their trophies. So, and that's where that one ends. So I need to get the next one, but it's bonkers crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Very, very interesting. It sounds like they're telling a story that has not been told in this universe.
No, and there's a long writer's letter in the back of it to the fans and what they're doing, and then they've actually got sketches. If you're interested in how they did the art, like they show how they sketched them out and their ideas from. Like at one point they had. They even admitted, they said, well, we did make Riker look like Kurt Russell from Escape from New York. He goes, because he did have a duster, and then they had him with just like a top, and he's like, okay, we had to take him another direction to kind of get him away from that, but yeah.
Especially when he was written as Snake Plissken. It's like, guys, they're going to notice this.
Yeah.
Guys,
I don't think we can sneak this through.
We cannot cross this over. It says deviations, not a deviated. But yeah, it's really cool. I recommend it if you're a big TNG fan. On both of those, like I said, I got to go down to Richard at Nerdvana and get
shout out to
list.
Nerdvana Knoxville.
Nerdvana Comics
I have
Knoxville.
got to go get a pull list for those two, especially. So
Very cool.
All right, so I think that'll wrap it up for today's Comic Book Corner. Thank you for my contributing pals here today. I knew I couldn't do it alone. It's a lot of heavy lifting, but I've always got somebody to lean on.
Yeah, glad to do it.
No.
Really?
I know what he wanted to do, and I said no.
See, I'm trying to be supportive. Matt, on the other hand, it's not.
No.
But glad to do it. And we obviously all bring different books to the table with vastly different things going on, so I am always curious to hear what we're reading. So
Yeah, books to the audio table. That's right.
yeah, that works.
And as we talk about technology and platforms, how about a little hot and streamy in your ears?
Yep, coming hot, coming streamy right in your earballs. Though this week, it's more of an eyeball-related thing. I made some references to it earlier. I picked up the latest hotness coming out of DC. It's Injustice 2, follow-up to, obviously, Injustice 1. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't Injustice 1. It was just straight up Injustice.
But the question is, did you play Injustice 0?
Yes, I did. Yeah, no, they didn't catch me like they did with Secret Empire.
Wasn't like Leonard Part 6 with Bill Cosby. He just made the Leonard Part 6. There was no
Yeah,
1, 3,
and
4,
then
5.
Bill Cosby, it's like, oh, no, we can't talk about that anymore. But no.
Sad.
But yeah, picked up Injustice 2. Like graphically, this is an impressive game. I'm not playing it on the PS Pro or the Xbox One S or whatever, so I don't have the 4K hookup. But I mean, even still, this is a visually engaging game. The cutscenes look great, and the in-game graphics also look great. Really good lighting, like the facial work. Especially on a character like Harley Quinn, I mean, Harley looks real. Like
Nice.
it looks like somebody is an actual person, not a CG.
I heard the visual, like the facial because they made a point in case, and somebody was showing that the facial effects are very real,
Very much
You know,
so.
like how they laugh or sneer. I mean, it's very. I don't know. It's convincing.
It is very much so, and it's like early on. I referenced Harley. It's like you're introduced to Harley very early in the game, and it's like anytime she's on screen, especially in the cutscenes, you're automatically drawn to her because, like you said, it's like her facial expressions, the way she moves her mouth, the smirk. At one point, she's blowing like bubble gums, and the thing that takes you out of it, like, oh, this is a video game. It's not the face, it's the gum.
The gum.
No.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, where it's like this perfectly rendered face, and then here comes a piece of computer out of it. So, like, but gameplay wise, I mean, if you were a fan of the first Injustice, you're gonna feel right at home in Injustice 2. It's very similar
Mechanics similar.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's very similar to the new Mortal Kombat games because it's
Okay.
made by NetherRealms,
Yeah.
who makes the current Mortal Kombat games. And of course, I mean, everybody shows up for the big superpower moves. Those are fun. I mean, I've only done a handful of them, but every one of them, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like Swamp Thing's, for example. By the way, Swamp Thing is in the game, and he's fucking awesome. His superpower is he pulls you underground into like a cavern. So as the opponent is in the cavern, fist comes out of the ground, smashes it to the left. Fist comes the other way, smashes it to the right. Two arms appear and slam the opponent down on like a rock that's in this cave, then throws it up. And you're back. It's so cool. You still have the environmental attacks where you can pick up, like, again, staying with Swamp Thing. In the swamp, if your character's strong enough, there's a giant gator just propped up, hanging in the back. So if you're like Bane or something, you can environmental pick up the gator and smash your opponent with it. Super fun. And then you can
Are
break.
there any sharks you can hump in the game?
That's exactly what I want to know. Is there a gator humping a shark?
Not a gator humping a shark, but I do think there's a rumor of Jim McElwain DLC coming. So once again, we're perpetuating hashtag McElwain humped a shark. That's the gift that keeps on giving. But there is a shark in the Atlantis world because much like the first Injustice, you can transition to different parts of the map, and like you'll break through this one wall and you'll send your opponent flying to the next map. And in the Aquaman world and, you know, underseas, there is a shark that shows up and get you. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And there's also some other stuff that I'm not going to spoil for you. So
Who's your favorite character to fight with so far?
so far, I really like Green Arrow.
Really?
And I didn't think I would pick, you know, Green Arrow is my guy from this cast of characters. Again, Swamp Thing is in this game, and I love playing a Swamp Thing. He's super fun, but it's like, for whatever reason, the Green Arrow moveset best suits me. But I've talked about the gameplay. The story is really where it's at. My girlfriend was watching me play this game and was just watching the like scenes and stuff like that. And she's like, what happened in the first Injustice? So I tell her, it's like, okay, I'm going to have to go back and play the first Injustice, get the story, just so she can get Injustice 2 and play this story. Like,
Awesome.
I always go to YouTube.
She's getting a
and do
nice
cutscenes.
history lesson lately. She's going to get caught up on Alien. She's going to get caught up on Injustice. Very
well,
good.
I am doing the Lord's work.
You are.
so-
You really are.
And for her birthday, she wanted comic books, so I am doing good.
Oh, my God.
Another shout out to Nerdvana in Knoxville. What's up, Richard? But we were talking before we started recording. Like, if DC wants to do like DC Universe, DC movies, just do the Injustice story.
Right.
I always wondered why they didn't do the Injustice story.
I mean,
that's what everybody wants to see.
This is a story perfect for like turning it into a series of movies.
Right.
And it's like playing through the story mode. It almost feels like you're watching like a DC animated movie that you just happen to like play or interact with, like, you know, every 3 to 5 minutes in between the cutscenes. And I like in the story how it pivots from different characters' viewpoints. Like it opens with Batman and Robin, then it transitions into Harley, then it transitions into Black Canary and Green Arrow, and it just keeps rotating characters to where it's like, I'm guessing by the end of the story, you're going to have played as everybody at least once.
Yeah.
Maybe not, you know, Brainiac, because spoiler alert, Brainiac's a bad guy. But I mean, like, it exposes you to the different characters. I like the fact that it's like every character has a different play style, but for the most part, all the, like, you know, big flashy moves are the same. So you don't have to, like, you know, break down the move list and study. It's like, all right, well, this character goes down right square, where this one goes down right left square to do practically the same move. And R2 and L2, if you're playing on the PS4 and you have your hero meter all the way full. That's how you trigger your special. So you don't have to like be like, all right, I'm going to rotate all the way around, do a 180 the other way while holding triangle and X. It's
Thank
none of that
God.
crap. Seriously.
I have
pull that
never
shit
got
off.
Zangief to do that freaking 360 pile driver. I have never gotten that to happen.
Yeah, like that's always my weakness when it comes to fighting games like this. I want to see the combo breakers. I want to see the super cool. Like I have my meter filled all the way up. Yeah, I don't know the 25-digit code to do
Right,
it.
exactly. I don't have the finger dexterity to pull this off. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the fact that it keeps it simplified, but at the same time, it's not like hit this button and it does everything. Like Tatsunoko versus Capcom on the Wii. It's like I liked that game, but it did have some simplified controls. But that might have been because it was on the Wii.
Right.
But I mean, like
Yeah.
there was modes where it's like one hit button and it'll do this move. You hit another button, it'll do that move. So it's like you didn't have to actually know the game. But at the same time, it's like you don't necessarily have to know every move with Injustice 2, but you can still see a lot with different characters.
That's
I
cool.
like that.
Yeah, I do too.
And for the replayability aspect, this is what I really like. They've introduced gear, and you can obviously like I think each character comes with 3 like costume slots, and with this gear that you get, you can customize the color. It comes with like skins and costumes, and the gear has stats. So, for example, like if I get
+1 charisma.
exactly, yeah. So like an
handy in a fist fight.
Aquaman gauntlet will give you like +6 to your agility. So
Nice.
if you play online, your Aquaman might be moving a little bit faster
Whoa.
than any other Aquaman you face. But at the same time, you might run into an Aquaman who has like +25 to this one attack, so it hits harder than you.
Nice.
I like that, and it really gives a replayability.
Personal touches
exactly.
to the people you like playing Green Arrow. You may set him up how you play.
Exactly, and I like that. Though there is a real life, like give us real money aspect. Microtransactions. That's what I'm looking for. And you can buy these. They're called crap. What are they? You go.
Naked cash grab.
Mother box.
Sorry.
I like that. So you can buy these mother boxes, and they give you items. So it's like you can earn them through playing the game and meeting certain achievements and stuff like that. Or you'd be like, yeah, here's $25. I'm going to the PSN store and I'm going to buy like the 25 pack or whatever.
Yeah, everybody's went to that kind of thing.
And that is true. Everybody with a multiplayer aspect has kind of gone that pay to play route. But I mean, at the same time, you don't have to spend any money past the initial like buying it if you don't want to. They already have DLC out. I think it's like the $40 DLC gives you like 3 characters that are going to come out. One of them being Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat as DLC, and it gives you like skins and stuff like that. Me personally, I feel like you get a full game just on the disc.
Okay.
This isn't one of these things where it's like you have to buy the season pass or to get the true
Right.
to get
ending.
the entirety of the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront, we're looking at you. But I mean, it's like
Anything.
Check it out. It's like if you're a fighting fan, you're gonna like this. But in addition to just being good, like fighting controls, it's a good story,
story.
too.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's some replayability. And there's guilds you can form, and like the stronger your guild gets, you can get like guild rewards, kind of like out of a World of Warcraft thing. So it encourages you to play online and with other people. I like that. So check it out.
I think they missed an opportunity to call them leagues.
Leaks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so we can be Justice League, Injustice
Oh yeah,
League
they really did miss that.
instead of guilds. Guilds is more of a fantasy.
Yeah.
League of Super Evil or
League,
Lose.
yeah, just lose. Yeah, lose.
That is actually a Phineas and Ferb reference.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be streaming the story at some point. Butt Munch Chips Theater with an RE because we're classy as yeah, we'll post a link or something. But I mean, hit me up, PlayStation ID LANDOZ. We'll play some online. It'll be fun.
Yeah, man. That sounds great. And while we're on the subject of heroes, I want to talk about something that you actually gave me the ability to try out, which is Marvel Heroes Omega.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah?
And so when we were talking about this before, we kind of compared it to like a Diablo-style game. While I agree that that is a favorable comparison in style, it is not a favorable comparison in gameplay.
Okay.
And I would say that as a huge Diablo fan, somebody who can still, I've got Diablo 3, and I can sit down and play through the story over and over and over again. The things that I love about Diablo 3 are things like the dungeon crawling, gathering the loot, being able to upgrade my character, change the look, change the appearance, the differentiation between the play styles of the different characters. So far, my experience, I'm just going to say, and I haven't played a ton of it, so far, that's the biggest thing I miss in my experience playing Marvel Heroes Omega is that, yeah, you do get gear, but it doesn't, from what I can tell, change the way you look. And then the other thing is that it feels a little bit like, sometimes I feel a little bit confused about like what's the next step, where am I supposed to go, what am I supposed to be doing, and then like I also, and I know I'm playing in a closed beta.
I was about to say, this is all beta, which is coming to Xbox. So.
Yeah.
Which I actually think, as of this recording, is now an open beta. So
Okay. So playing in beta, and I realize that might limit some of the experience as well, but the whole aspect of you can play every character up to level 10 and then you have to purchase them, that ticks me off quite a bit. Now there is a big roster of characters.
over 30 at launch.
Yeah, there's a big roster out there, a lot of really interesting, compelling characters. I don't think, as far as abilities and skills, that there's huge differentiators between the characters. Some of them there are, because you've got Hulk, and of course it's brute strength and stamina, right? That's Hulk. And then you've got a guy like Deadpool, who of course he's got his gun, technique that he can stay out of the battle. He's not somebody that you want to try tanking with, to use that term, because he's going to get beat up. So there's some differences there.
Juggernaut is not,
No.
and I don't know if he'll
What
be.
about Thing?
Actually, I don't think any of the Fantastic Four made it to the console version.
I don't think so.
The only reason I was just trying to find somebody that was like the Hulk that you could say
Colossus.
Yeah,
is
Has he got the
is on
same
there.
type of
Yes,
powers?
in my opinion,
Okay.
yes. And
Okay.
and so there's, I feel like there's a lot of that kind of thing, like duplicity between the characters. Every single character has a dash, like everyone that I've seen, which to me is like they don't all need that necessarily. And I don't know. So I have fun playing it, and I think that if I didn't have in my mind going into it, this is going to be Diablo with Marvel superheroes, I might have already enjoyed it more. But going in with that in my head, kind of like you were talking about with Alien Covenant, it might have ruined it a little bit for me, because I'm playing it and I'm like, all right, this is fun, but it almost is like surface level fun.
Okay.
Like I could see myself getting tired of it quickly.
Well, I will say, as somebody who did play it on PC and then has played it on the console, there is a little bit where it's like, okay, I gotta run through this Hydra facility again and beat up these faceless Hydra goons to get to like the Grim Reaper at the end. It's like, okay, I've done this before, and it's like, I will say, just beating up faceless goons does get a little tiresome. And I will speak on about how it's like, where do I go? There were times where it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll follow the little dot on the map and it's like, oh, I can't go this way for some reason. And then you pull up the map. It's like, well, I've been everywhere. Where do I go? And speaking on you can play as any character up to level 10, and then you have to buy it. You do have to remember this is a freemium game.
Yeah, I know that.
So
I know that.
but I will say, like, you don't have to spend any real world currency to unlock these characters. They randomly they'll drop. I believe they're called Eternity Shards, and if you collect enough Eternity Shards, you can buy anybody.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, that's nice.
yeah, but I mean, it's like, I do agree with you. It's like, if this is a dungeon crawler where I'm getting gear to upgrade my dude, I do wish it showed that I just got a rare, web shooter
Yeah.
for Spider-Man, because
And it made you look a little different or something. Yeah.
And it's like, because everybody is running around and y'all look the same. It's
Yeah.
like, oh sweet, I'm Star-Lord, and here comes another Star-Lord,
there's
and
Star-Lord.
another Star-Lord, and it's like, but the way they are viewing to beat that is, go spend some money, get a costume, get a
Yeah,
skin,
right.
And unfortunately, I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to differentiate your character is through skins,
Right.
So
So that's probably the detractor for me. Like I said, it's fun in its own right. It's got like, I could see it being a game that would be fun to like sit down and play for a while, and you're like, oh, I've got 20 minutes till I have to go leave.
Jump in, jump out.
Yeah.
So I'll sit down and knock out a little. Where for me, if I sit down with Diablo, I could be doing that for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
You have a goal.
Because one of the biggest aspects I enjoy about Diablo is exploring the maps. And by the way, if you do, it's going to pay off for you in gear, experience, all sorts of things like that. You want to explore everything. You want to get 100% exploration. I don't feel like I would ever feel that need in Marvel Heroes Omega.
Well, I will say, generally, I haven't found, like, in Diablo, for example, you can go, I'm just going to go northeast and be like, oh, cool, I found a cave. It's like, you will sometimes find that stuff, but I would say the most, like, reason to explore the entire map is, much like in Diablo, you had the treasure goblin. In Marvel Hero Omega, you have Dupe.
Okay.
And Dupe will randomly appear. He's nothing but a damage sponge. I mean, you just wail on him. And if you kill him before he teleports away,
Just
he
like a
drops
treasure goblin.
Just like a treasure goblin. He drops gold. He drops XP. He drops gear. So
Okay.
I would say
That's good.
Yeah, there is that little caveat to make you go explore, but not to the extent that like Diablo 3 has.
Where you find actual dungeons that you didn't have to do.
And it's like sometimes you'll find like a secret cave or something, and you'll go in there and like beat up like 10 dudes and a treasure chest will pop up. So, I mean, there is stuff like that, but it's going into bland cave to fight bland dudes
Right.
for the 1,000th time.
So anyway, not trying to down it because I think it definitely has its positive aspects. I'm just saying, as a person who went into it comparing it to Diablo, I shouldn't have done that. That probably wasn't fair. And, you know, I would recommend that people give it a try. Like you said, it's going to be freemium. So there's no reason not to try it. It's
Exactly.
like you said,
it's
coming to
coming to
Xbox next month.
Next month.
We were very curious about when we would see it drop in Xbox next month. So you are not out on your own.
know.
buddy.
Boy, could I have been any wronger on that? Because it's like, guys, I don't know. They say they're coming to the Xbox, but they've been saying they were coming to consoles for like 18 months. So I don't know. And
I
it's
would
like,
say
oh,
once
by
you
the
get
way, like 5 weeks. That's when you get it.
Yeah, I'd say once you've got one console, coded, it's probably easy to port. I would imagine.
I'd imagine so. But now that you've actually gotten into it, I would love to group up and,
Sure, we should do it.
and beat up some Faceless Hydra agents.
We should do it.
And it has local co-op, so
Yeah. I would say that picking the right character for the right situation does make a pretty big difference in that game too.
it does.
So
Yeah, but and I will say it's like it does kind of feel like all the characters, if like you're a melee guy, you have the same abilities as every other
Yeah.
melee guy. Because it's like characters I've played the most with is Spider-Man and Star-Lord, and they both have ranged attacks that do similar stuff. They have a ranged AoE. They have a ranged crowd control. So it's like different bells and whistles, but at the same time, it does
Yeah.
feel like every character kind of does the same thing.
and their animations are cool. Like they do a good job. Like I was talking about Deadpool a minute ago. When you're doing just a barrage of bullets, it's funny. He does his own little Deadpool thing. He stands on one hand upside down and shoots at people, and like so it's got some interesting things to it. But
And I also like how the characters will interact with each other.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
They'll do like one-liners. If you see a Wolverine running around and you're
Yeah.
Spider-Man, it's like, hey, midget, what are you doing out here?
that was something that they brought into Disney Infinity, and I know this is a kids game, but still, like once they started bringing in the Marvel characters, and even actually before that, you would put two characters from different properties, but when they run into each other, they just talk. They'll say things to each other that are relevant, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So yeah, I like it. Overall, I'm going to say it's worth a try, but just know what you're getting into going in, and don't expect Diablo. That's what I'll say.
I wonder if I don't know if you guys have ever played Marvel Alliance.
I have not.
I have.
Is it more like that? Marvel Alliance was the same way. You had maps. You had to do different missions. You could be a range of characters. You could level them up. I don't know that you could change anything like gear or anything like that.
You could change gear, but it didn't like change the appearance.
Yeah.
I would say comparing Ultimate Alliance to Heroes Omega, Ultimate Alliance is more focused on multiplayer. It wants
Yes.
you to play with other people, where, I mean, Heroes Omega, it's like you do have that multiplayer option, and it's like there are dungeons where you run in, it's like, man, I really could use a group here.
It sounds like Destiny for me.
But at the same time, it's like
I'll just keep dying.
if you wanted to, you could be the Amazing Spider-Man solo from level 1 to level 60.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't punish you for dying.
No,
really.
it doesn't. And like
You can die 1,000 times in a fight and keep on going.
Yep, and
comics.
have you ran into any like penalty for using med packs over and over again? Okay, yeah, I don't think there is one. So
Yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention is the user interface. Like when you're going through menus, I don't like it.
yeah, I'm really hoping once they get to the open release, it's like I have noticed they did some tweaks.
Twerking, they were twerking on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, they were twerking from closed beta to open beta. They made some changes to the interface that I personally liked, but yeah, I do hope that the
Continuous.
yeah, exactly.
UI
Yeah.
continuous
continues to
changes.
get better, and maybe it will. Maybe it will.
Yeah,
so,
but again, it's a freemium game. Download it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot,
there you go.
and you can do it in a month, buddy.
Coming soon to Matt.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll stick with the Xbox.
You know, I think this is a good segue. Speaking of things that are disappointing Matt, why don't we get into the premium roast today?
Premium roast is going to be a little bit different this week. As we teased on Tuesday, I have watched the Star Trek Discovery trailer. You guys have all seen it.
As have we all.
Yes.
I like it. I really do like the trailer. There are things about it I just don't know what is happening, and that's to be expected on a narrative level, but on a visual level, it's disconcerting in some ways. In some ways, it's exciting. This whole show is 10 years before Kirk.
Right. Pre-TOS.
Pre-TOS, but the problem is it says before Enterprise. The Enterprise was around. It just had a different captain. It had Captain Pike.
That's right. Pike.
Yeah,
right.
Pike was on there. There was another captain. I can't remember. It was like Apple something or
Applewhite?
Appleton.
Major Applewhite?
Applegate.
Former Texas quarterback.
Christina Applegate. No, no, I can't remember his name, but it's neither here nor there. Pike is the guy everybody knows. And he was there for 10 years. You did have the Enterprise. You did have, that going on. So that kind of intro is kind of misleading.
Maybe they just mean before the series started.
Spock,
I think that's what they mean.
Spock was on there.
Oh.
He was on. He was the first officer for Captain Pike before Kirk got on.
That's
true. So I think they were just trying to. I think that statement, and I don't want to be granular here, but that statement's just to say before this show happened.
Okay.
And we see some people in the desert. We see lots of action. We see the bridge of this ship, and I cannot remember the name of the ship. It's not the Discovery. There's two different ships. Basically, the speculation is that the one ship blows up, and then they have the other ship.
It's always good to have a backup.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's why I have a backup.
And this is the time when they're just not turning ships out. I mean, they're not like cranking cranking them out of like here's this ship, here's that ship. I mean, as you got into like Deep Space Nine and stuff like that, there's thousands of ships. I swear, everybody had a ship somewhere. So it's supposed to be the prime timeline. Mm-hmm. It kind of reflects the prime timeline, but it really kind of tiptoes on this Kelvin timeline.
Now, do you feel that way because of the visuals of what we
Yeah,
saw?
I do.
It really does feel Abramsy.
And this is what I'll say about it. I don't really care for it to touch on the Abrams thing, but I understand it for the simple fact that you have new fans right now.
Exactly.
And
That's what we've been
need
seeing.
those new fans
you're
for
right.
this show to succeed, because I do want it to succeed. I do want another Star Trek TV show because the movies just aren't doing it anymore. So I think that I don't know. The bridge is weird because if you guys want to do crazy, it is. If you look at that bridge, it looks really up to date. But it's supposed to be before TOS. And if you look at Kirk's bridge, I mean, it's like red paint. It's like black walls. The doors don't open. I mean, we don't see a whole lot. But at one point, she's like, computer thrusters. I'm like, I don't remember him ever yelling at the computer to do anything in that. Granted, he probably did in different parts, but it wasn't a big thing. That came along in TNG. That came along, so
It was a later thing.
I think they're trying to really grab on to different elements of all the shows, of all the, movies and everything else. So
Trying to make a conglomeration that it gives everybody a little piece to latch on
Sure.
to, right?
Yeah.
And they look like they have a strong cast. Don't get me wrong.
The cast looks good. I
that
agree with
trailer,
that. It does, yeah.
the people they have cast, and I mean, granted, we only got the Federation. I mean, we really didn't even touch on I guess what they're showing as the Klingons.
Yeah, they showed
Yeah,
the Klingons.
we see
yeah.
Klingons.
Which there's a whole mess of craziness.
But
that
I
goes
do
on
want to
with that.
say that, based on those pictures we saw months ago that we were like, are these Klingons? Because they don't look
They
like
are.
them. In the trailer, I recognize them as Klingons. Because they do have head ridges.
They do have
the
head
ridges,
ridges,
yeah.
and the thing about the Klingons is I don't think they've ever had any kind of definitive. This is what they look like, because there was some disease that came along, and that's why they look the way they do in Kirk's realm, and then they cured it, and that's why they look like that in Next Generation and so on.
Yeah.
And in the movies, like Star Trek 5 and 6, well, actually all of them, I think they were in there. But anyway, you got your
That was my favorite one.
Boogaloo. They were really cool. It's just, I think we went back to a primitive Klingon, so they're probably going to be.
That would make sense.
They're more brutal.
Yeah.
They're more bloodthirsty. They probably don't care about anybody. So this will be interesting to see how they use them, because Star Trek's always been kind of this political thing. It's always been a very
It's about human relationships.
For the greater
relationships.
good.
Yeah. How humans benefit the universe. Contrary to what Q says. Whoever knows Q, everyone knows Q. So they have this whole thing where the betterment of the galaxy is humans. This looks more, and I think there was a reviewer that said this was a more cinematic show.
It looks
and
cinematic.
it looks
does.
very, very detrimental, very action, very in your face with all the elements they're throwing at you. Now, granted, they're building a good trailer to get people to buy this CBS All Access. I know what this is about. This is about sign up, please.
Sure.
We'll have to shut this down and people lose jobs. So I don't really care about that.
What, you don't care about people losing jobs?
I don't care
Come
about people.
on, Matt.
I don't care about CBS Access.
That's his platform for his run for that White House coming up.
That's right. I don't care about jobs. But it looks really cool. They're doing a great job on like the visuals of it. I think we're at a point where the visuals of space are amazing.
But sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say, could that kind of be to the detriment of the Star Trek show? Because it's like, I'll admit, there was times when like you guys were with me when I watched it. It's like, that looks like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Like if y'all hadn't told me this is Star Trek and like cut out the obvious like shots or like you see insignias, I'd been like, yeah, I could see this being Mass Effect.
I mean, and this is where I said before, these gaming houses are using the same visual effects people and the same, graphic artists and stuff like that to build their visuals the same as the movies are. So I guess we're at this point where everybody just meets. Everybody's using the same type of stuff, which is cool. Games look amazing now.
Yeah, they do.
Movies are looking amazing. TV's back in the game with these amazing visuals. I'm interested to see what happens. The ships look just a little. They look more Kelvin. I'll see what happens. I'm not going to be a doubter. I'm not going to be like, ooh. The uniforms are kind of off to me too. But I was thinking with the uniforms, because a lot of people are like, the uniforms look like they're in the Kelvin, blah, 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 blah. If you go back and watch the Bakula Star Trek series, Enterprise, they have the same type of flight suits. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that's our callback as we're using those kind of suits to go forward. I don't know. But cast is strong. Visuals look great. I would hope that the story is very copacetic, very Star Trek, because I don't want Fast and Furious Star Trek like we've had with Kelvin. I don't hate those. I don't hate the movies. I just feel like it's like bam, bam, shoot them.
Yeah.
Well, and at the end of the trailer, it might not be the end, but towards the end when it's like conflict is about to arise, somebody screams, "The Federation doesn't shoot first."
Yeah, they don't.
And it looks like they're totally shooting first at the end of this trailer. So.
Well, I am so glad that they got. I wasn't sure how she would be in Star Trek. Martin Green. She came from Walking Dead. Walking Dead, she was excellent. She was a good character. I don't think that I think they missed some opportunities with her character, but I guess just narratively, it's not going to matter in their world. Her being on this and being as strong a lead as she is, and they're following her, and it looks to be that she's kind of got that Spock chip on the shoulder, the half Vulcan, half human, maybe. We know she's at least a little Vulcan.
Everybody's a little Vulcan.
It's a little Vulcan. She don't have the ears though, so she must have went the other way. She took after her father or mother, whatever. But they show her
That was
being
Spock's greatest line. He'd be like, everybody's a little Vulcan. If not, I can put a little Vulcan in you.
That's exactly what he said, except he says it like this, without emotion.
Exactly.
Unless you're the guy in the Kelvin universe, and he's like, hello. He embraces more of the human side.
Yeah, he does.
So, she gets denied.
Yeah.
Being any kind of Vulcan, it looks like. So we
Yeah.
kind of see that heartbreak right off the start, and she doesn't have the pointy ears.
Or maybe that's going to be the mid-season reveal where she pulls her hair back.
Well, she has her hair back. We see it.
Or does she? No, I'm just
Or
messing
she
with
just
you.
files them down.
She files her ears.
Ow, that seems painful.
Hey, it's Star Trek, do what you want.
That is true.
But yeah, so I don't know. It looks good. I'm ready for it.
I would say you're cautiously.
I am cautiously optimistic, as you have used several times
I feel the
before.
excitement, but you don't seem 100% on board.
I'm just ready for a Star Trek TV show. It's been so long. We
When was the last Star Trek TV show?
Voyager, early 2000s.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
been
and we
a
had
while.
and Voyager actually when it first came on, I was like, this is okay. I'm not like super impressed with it. And then as I've watched it now as an adult, it's amazing. I mean, they've got some really good storylines in there. They've got some really good issues that kind of we're looking at right now. There's a callback to one of the episodes called Arthur. And basically a hologram writes a book. He publishes it through some Earth thing or whatever, some Earth publishing house. The publisher says, well, this isn't a real person. I'm going to take that money and keep it.
Oh.
And there's this whole thing, do hologram have rights? Now, they addressed whether Data had rights back in TNG, but he was
Yeah.
just one figure. holograms in Voyager are everywhere. They use them all the time. Wow. They have personalities. They are AI. So it's kind of the things we're looking at now. It's like, where do you grant those rights?
Yeah.
What do you give that personality?
And what would an AI do with money?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How do you? What are you wanting from this?
Buy a sweet AI mansion. Duh.
Yeah. Or that Scarlett Johansson robot.
I was
we
about
saw.
to say it, but
God.
Look it up, guys. Somebody built a Scarlett Johansson robot.
And you just know what they're doing that.
You know what they're doing.
I'm looking into the camera, shaking my head. How dare you, humanity?
It's pretty creepy. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. You were talking about like or I was talking about the visuals after you were talking about Andromeda. One of the things.
oh, that's what I was talking about.
Great point, me.
Let me go back.
No, you were talking about it looked like a video game. I think they have really stepped up the visuals on this series, and I don't know for a fact, but I know that the TNG Blu-ray where they went and remastered them all has sold a ridiculous amount. Like the whole series, because people like the touched up ones. And if you want to see them, it's on Netflix. If you want to see the old ones, you'll have to go look on YouTube or something like that to see how it changed. But they have improved like the way the ships look, planets, visual effects.
Who are they, George Lucas?
Yeah, exactly. But they didn't change the story.
Did they add in any poop jokes?
No, they didn't. They didn't add poop jokes. They didn't put space slugs. They didn't add story elements that were never there.
But in this universe, Han still never shot first.
He never shot first. Actually,
we
he's
know
on the
that.
other side, far away.
We know that Han shot first, people. Come on.
He's a scoundrel, guys.
I
Get
still
over
can't
it.
believe that happened.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep.
It's his baby. He can groom it how he wants it.
Is
Not
it?
anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna
not
say,
anymore. Disney can go back now and go.
They should redo that.
I got you.
Oh God, they're gonna
special
remaster the
editions.
remasters. God,
It'll be called the remaster.
Remix.
So I like it. I want to be a part of it. I'm gonna definitely watch it. I'm gonna be everything into it. I just don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, of course.
fair enough.
So what did you guys overall think as far as like, would you watch it?
So, as a person who obviously is much more of a Star Wars guy, I haven't seen nearly the depth or breadth of Star Trek as you have, but I've been exposed to it enough. When I watched the trailer, I was excited about it. Like, I really liked it. I thought they did a good job, and to me, it's interesting. But I will tell you that the Star Trek that I've seen in my life that I like the most has been the Kelvin universe.
Okay.
So that
That's
could
fine.
be why.
Just based on the trailer, I'm definitely interested. Now, whether or not I'm interested enough to throw down the $9.99 or the $11.95 or whatever I have to for CBS All Access, I don't know.
The pilot will be on CBS. That you'll get to
cool.
see the
Okay.
first episode, and then after that, it's cash
First
grab.
taste is free.
That's right.
Yep, first
they
time's
are
always
straight up
free.
drug dealing this series, and I mean, this is what they were hoping to sell All Access on. I mean, the Star Trek fans, because let's face facts here. No one's going to pay for all the backlog of Big Bang Theory.
God, no.
No one's going to pay backlog for, like, I think they had The Mentalist. Is that one of theirs? I don't know. They have like tons of shows, but no one's going to pay for this backlog.
I will totally pay. No, I can't. No.
No. But
I will pay
if you're in
you
another
Tuesday
country, guys,
for a hamburger today.
if you're in another country, you can watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
we had heard
Canada,
about that
UK.
before, and I just want to say to everybody who's not in this country, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. Wait. We have people listening
No,
in Canada.
Matt Weaver's about to get a different VPN for his Netflix.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there are workarounds for that.
So I don't like the all access thing. I'm hoping maybe there's a partnership made somewhere that like it becomes a part of Netflix. I don't know.
I mean, just it doesn't make business sense for all the money that they're going to sink into this Star Trek franchise to put it behind a paywall where it's being hidden away from the majority of the public.
They're thinking this way: the people that subscribe to it, CBS gets all the money, as opposed to having to share some of
the
that.
public reasons that it's behind a paywall. Number one, if it's not network, they can go as dark as they want. They can go Netflix, like we've seen with all of their superhero shows and all their original shows. They can go as dark as they want with any kind of character or storyline. And number two, there's no set length of sponsorship or anything like that. They're just straight out episodes like people like to watch.
Okay.
So that's their public reasons why they're doing it.
Okay.
Well, publicly fine, but bull
Well,
crap.
you know how I feel about that. Yeah. If they do some interesting things behind the paywall, I may support it.
Okay.
I may support it.
Yeah, because right now the only thing we know that's going to be behind the paywall is that Star Trek show. Right?
They have other shows. They have a couple other shows, but I could not tell you off the top of my head what they are.
I'm sure it's another Kevin James show because that's what we all need.
Yeah.
Like Kevin James is a bumbling fat guy who has a crazy hot wife.
You know, he falls right under the same thing as McCarthy. Just like, this is what you're gonna do, fat guy jokes.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Farley towards
Chris
the
Farley,
the end of his life. I read the Chris Farley show, great book about Chris Farley, told by his friends, and he was expressing some concern towards the end of his life that he was just typecasted as fall down fatty.
Fall down fatty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
That sucks.
That's
It does.
disappointing.
Because
now I miss Farley.
Yeah,
too.
because actually the thing is, I think Kevin James is funny.
he's a
is.
great comedian. There have
I like
been
him in Hitch.
Hitch was funny.
Yeah.
Hitch was funny. He was a good comedic actor. Very nervous. I think he did a better Eisenberg than Eisenberg does.
Oh, he could have been Lex Luthor.
But think about.
I don't
Just
think
kidding.
I would have hated BVS as much.
I told you if he had been changed to Brainiac, that movie would have been a completely different movie.
yeah, that
So-
would have been a great twist.
So, but think about it. You talk about Hitch. That's a beautiful example because he is right up against Will Smith, and Will Smith is at his height.
Yeah.
So and then Eva Mendes. So,
Right.
I mean, all of them are like type A, and I mean, he's having to compete with all that, and he stands his ground.
He's great.
Right with it. I mean,
He's great
it's
in that
everything they can be.
Hitch is an underrated movie in my opinion.
I love
But
Hitch.
now he's just Paul Blart Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he's going to be going forward.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, they probably throw the money at him in truckloads. Will you come be Paul Blart again? Here's a semi. Guess what's in the back of it? It's not 20s.
It's
So,
Twinkies.
It's Twinkies with hundreds wrapped around them.
Ouch! Really? We're going fat jokes? That's not nice.
Well,
guys.
the world is.
Sorry, I just
want to be
got
like,
LeVar Ball over here calling Jason Whitlock fat. You a hole.
I just want to be like Paramount. But yeah, that's tragic. So I hope he can rise above that.
Yeah.
How
Rise
did we
above
get off
Kevin
on
James.
this?
Because CBS, and we're trying to think of the stupidest shows
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
they would
right,
put on.
yeah. So
King of Queens 2.
So he's going to get like what 5 shows behind the paywall?
Oh my God! They'll probably give what's his name now? He lost his Tim Allen. They'll give him a.
Oh
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. Last Man Standing will transition to
Why
CBS
is there outcry over this?
because
I don't get it.
conservatives say it's the only conservative show on TV, and they think everything else is the liberal media. And you have to say it like that. Yeah.
Bring
so,
back Grace Under Fire and shut up. By the way, Roseanne's coming back.
Oh, did you?
So
hear?
there
and
you go.
so's Will and Grace.
What?
Will and Grace is coming back. Roseanne is coming back.
How did, like John Goodman's character died in Roseanne?
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
He's
Nope.
back.
He's ghosting.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're gonna.
And by the way, both Beckys
Yep. Both Beckys.
are going to be in this
Are
one.
they on drugs?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I have some? Because I think that's the only way this
know
is going to
what-
make sense.
You know what would be awesome? If they did Roseanne like oh God, I had it right in my head. The Michael J. Fox ghost movie.
the Frighteners?
Frighteners, where John Goodman's like out on the couch drinking, trying to drink beers. They just go through him. He's leaving ectoplasm everywhere. One of the Beckys can see him. She's like clairvoyant, and she's like, "Dad's here." He's like, "Who's dad?" Your dad. Isn't that your dad? I mean, like, it's like this. And then they do like a whole switched at birth thing, except like she's the other Becky that somehow they like flipped them out. It was like and then they bring in like a, what is it, the Parent Trap kind of thing where they had to switch the two kids. That's why you had two different Beckys because they're twins.
And then at the end of the series, cut to Patrick Duffy in the shower, and it was all a dream.
It's all a dream.
I do want to say what I heard was the original Becky is going to be Becky. The other one is going to be a character. She won't be Becky, but they're bringing her back anyway. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So the other Becky. They just call her OB. What's
OB.
up, OB?
OB.
OB
Trace.
OB1. Yeah. She'll be a ghost. Ghosty OB.
Ghosty Obi. Hashtag Ghosty Obi.
All right. Are we going to debate today?
I'm not in a debateful mood.
What do you
We
want?
don't have to debate. What we could do instead is, how about this? One of the things that I asked us to prep for, we don't even have to debate it today, but this is what I want to do. Going into Free Comic Book Day, I prepped a subject for us. Did you guys have something in mind for that? Because my suggestion was pick a character that you think deserves their own comic book series. And did you come up with one? No, I'm getting confused looks like I never mentioned
I
this before.
had one, but I'm not strong with it.
Okay. Well,
And see, all my characters they already have, or they're already prominently featured in,
yeah, but
in
you
books.
can. I'm saying from video games, TV, movies, comics, wherever any character that you can come up with from some property.
Then not Rex. I want a Rex Mass Effect comic. I want to see all of Rex's story.
Okay.
How about that?
All right. Well, so here's what I want to do. We'll put out a poll because I want people to be able to retweet and vote so they can. So because we want to give out free comics to you.
Do you?
We're going to be giving out Secret Empire #2.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give a few options. Let's. I'll tell you what mine is. My option was the Blue Spirit from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And let me give you a little background on who the Blue Spirit is because you guys you're outsiders, and I know it's okay. It's okay.
Did you just hear how he talked down to us?
It's okay.
Mr. King of the Castle over here.
So
His movie got turned to a Shyamalan movie.
exactly.
I mean, he has basically been kicked right in the nuts
Right.
with,
That
that,
is true,
with
yeah.
that whole series.
But I adamantly deny that belong. That is not an
I
Avatar.
know. I'm
That's
not
something-
taking a shot
but-
at you. I'm just saying he did that to you.
But here's
How did he hurt
Here's
you?
why.
Show us
Let
where
me-
he touched
But
you.
let me tell you. We were already in Uncle
in the
Touchy's
wallet.
basement.
in the wallet.
I felt like it
my
was.
butt.
Yeah, I didn't know I kept my wallet
Clenched it right on the cheek.
in an orifice. Anyway,
Wow, this just took a turn.
no. So here's what I want to say: the Blue Spirit. Basically, the concept of this character is that one of your main antagonists in the Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoon series is Zuko, the Fire Prince. He has been expelled from his nation because he's basically brought shame upon his house and his father and all this sort of thing. I'm not going to give you all the details, but essentially the way he thinks that he can redeem himself is to go out into the world and capture the Avatar and either kill him or bring him back to the Fire Nation, and he'll be welcomed back with open arms back into the Fire Nation.
Okay.
Because at the point we start the series Avatar, it's all out war and the Fire Nation's taking over everything. So basically eliminating the balance of the world, right? So Zuko's going to go out. He's going to go capture the Avatar. Well, he takes quite a journey throughout the series. By the way, a little sales pitch here. If you've never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, please go watch it. It's amazing. But by the time we get to the end of the series, he's actually taken the full turn. He's a total good guy. But throughout the series, there's a character that keeps recurring, the Blue Spirit, and they don't come out and smack you right in the face with it right away that you know who this person is. But basically, it's Zuko. He puts on a blue karate mask. He uses dual katanas.
Okay.
And he goes out and does what Zuko can't do. So there are times that things need to happen to help Zuko's agenda along, but it would not be appropriate for Zuko to do those things. So he takes on this Blue Spirit persona to go out and do. For example, let me tell you this. At one point, the Avatar gets captured by the Fire Nation. Zuko puts on the Blue Spirit costume and goes and saves the Avatar. He actually saves him, brings him out, and no intention of becoming friends. This is when he's still a full bad guy. But the problem is, if the Fire Nation captures Avatar, then they don't need Zuko, and he can't redeem himself. So he goes in and frees the Avatar as the Blue Spirit, and then he can go back after him again. So I just think it's a really compelling character, and I'd love to see a comic book series. I ended up debating. There you go. That's why.
Time.
Yeah, that's why
fine.
he needs
That's
his
fine.
own comic book character. So we've got the Blue Spirit. We've got Rex.
I'll say Erdnot Rex. In my
Erdnot
opinion,
Rex.
he's the coolest character in any of the Mass Effect games. He's only playable, actually playable in the first Mass Effect. He's referenced in the second one, and he shows up in the third one. It's I want to find out more about Rex. I want to find out about Rex before he even meets Shepard on the Citadel, because Rex was this badass mercenary who would go to the deepest, darkest parts of space, take whatever job, and then get the bounty. I want to see Rex in his element
Yeah.
before he signs up to save the galaxy.
Almost like a solo Boba Fett kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, I like that. Matt, did you come up with something while we were riffing here?
I had one, and I kind of wanted to check on it just to make sure, and I'm going to expand on what I actually originally thought. But I'd like to see Assassin's Creed comic here, but not from the Assassins, not from the Templars necessarily, but from Abstergo. What they're how they came up, how they got put together, what are they doing with the Templars? Why, of course they had to come through the Templars and how that evolved, who they are, but you don't really get a whole lot of that. I know there's a game out there called Rogue, and in Rogue you play a Templar assassin. You're assassinating the assassins. But we don't really get the full idea of what Abstergo is doing. Like, what are you doing with all this information? I know you're trying to capture these relics and stuff, but what are you going to do with it? What's your ultimate plan?
Okay.
You know, we don't have any of this information, and it would be awesome to kind of start the comic kind of a little backloggy a little bit as far as like exposition, how they got to be, but go forward through the games in a comic, but you're on the other side of the train. You know, it's like you've got this character, you're building him up, you know, you're looking in the past and you realize this is the mistake he made. Mark that, you know, and make this. And you're on the other side of the game in a comic where you're watching basically, you know, how you failed up to this point, and now you're in control. Where did the flip happen?
Okay.
What happened to the assassins? What's going on? Because we got a little bit of that in the movie, and it was really cool to see how they were manipulating these assassins. I was like, oh, no, you're a prisoner, or, oh, we just brought you in to kind of help you. Let's hook you up to this machine. And the therapy's beautiful. And they're just recording it, and they're getting all this information of what happened. What does this person know?
Yeah.
You know? So
That could be cool.
right.
I originally thought you were going to be like, what would it be like if you were Steve, the night janitor or something? He's like, damn it, they broke the animus again.
I would love some stories about like third party characters. The thing about was it Gotham Police you brought up?
Gotham Central.
That is hilarious to me. I think it would be. That's why I liked Powerless so much, because you had this complete. You know, it was Bruce Wayne. It was Wayne Enterprises, but it was the other side of Wayne Enterprises. It was like his lower end investments. You know, they were like a technology company. They were in Sun City
With his doofus cousin running
his doofus cousin running it. His whole dream is to make it to Gotham City.
Yep.
He could give two craps about the company. He just wants to be where his cousin is.
God, that show was so good.
And they canceled it.
I know.
And
Rest
they
in
canceled
peace,
it.
Powerless.
I know. And it
What
was
the
so
hell?
fun to like, who is a superhero? Who's running over? One of the funniest parts of that whole show, and I know this is off track, but it does relate. It is one of the very first parts of the show is where she goes, well, I live in a flyover state. We all know what a flyover state is, but the visual they show is her on her back with looking up, and you see Superman type character fly over.
Yep.
Superheroes don't stop in her state because nothing ever happens. And she's like, I live in a flyover state. And I'm like, that's hilarious. If you lived in Wyoming, nothing ever happens. You hear about superheroes, you see them when they've got to, make a beeline somewhere else. I just thought that was
That's
funny.
a good concept, yeah.
Oh, I want to change my answer. I've been playing Injustice 2. I think his name is Batman. We need to find out more of this Batman character.
Especially about
I mean,
his
who
background.
is Batman?
Though I would like to see that
What happened to him?
Abstergo comic done like the Batwoman. That very noir. I
Yeah.
think it would be really, the visuals would be very
That'd
cool
be a good
and dark.
combination, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really like that.
All right. Matt's even adding a style suggestion to his comic book.
Yeah,
So-
I don't have a style suggestion.
So there we go. So there's the poll that we'll put out there this week. I'll give you those three options.
Yours would be good, and the way the Secret Empire is being done right now.
Oh yeah, how every issue like there's
It's
a
so
drastically
just-
different art style.
That and just the cinematic of these covers. Me and Justin went through the three that he has here. Man, they're just so visually gripping, and the colors and stuff. Not bright, but very.
Enough to draw you in.
Yeah.
Yours would be good, like with the blue, the X-Men blue you've been reading. That very vibrant pop.
Yeah, I agree.
Because with the Avatar that being the cartoon and stuff, you'd want things to shoot out at you.
It needs to be vibrant and colorful and fun to look
You're
at.
welcome.
Thanks. So anyway, we'll put those options out there. If you guys retweet, vote, and you're a follower, you have a chance to win a free comic, Secret Empire.
Oh, and speaking of on the Secret Empire comics, I noticed this. When you put in the digital comic, it also gives you another comic to a new Marvel story. Nice. So I believe the one in Secret Empire #2 has something to do with Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
okay.
So check that out.
Oh, and I do want to say you have to retweet and vote and follow before the poll closes. Before the poll closes.
Yep.
If you retweet after, you are disqualified.
Tough stuff, butternuts.
So, yeah.
You guys got anything else?
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is back.
Yeah, they alive, damn it.
Yeah, that's
It's a
all I wanted to
miracle.
I don't think it's a miracle. I think it has a good following. So I think that covers the debate, that covers comics, that covers Hot and Streamy, that covers Semi-Gripes, Premium Blend. You can reach out to us to do all the things you need to do in the No Pants poll, #NoPantsPoll, at nerd_news_cafe. You can reach out to us on our Facebook page, Nerd News Cafe. You can hit us up on the website, which will take you to all of the elements you can find us on at nerdnewscafe.com. or if it's very long and drawn out and you have something to pitch us that we may or may not read. No, we read everything. And nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. Does that cover it, guys?
Coming soon to YouTube, Nerd News Cafe in your face.
We are
In your face.
We are on YouTube. I don't know that you'd want to do that because I feel like you're not gonna get this image out of your mind.
Nope. We are a podcast for radio.
That's right. Exactly. So if you guys want to reach out to us on that, I guess you can comment on that. So
Yeah, you can
it's just like
comment on
anything on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. Nerd News Cafe.
In your face.
In your face.
Probably don't have to put in your
And you
face.
don't
No,
put it in your face.
I'm going to put it in your face.
He's going to put it in your face.
It's coming. Prepare your face.
So for
Oh
In Your
my
Face,
God.
just a Krutzinger. Yeah, we're bailing. He is Matt Weaver. I'm Landon Doan. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Nerd News Cafe Stir It Up. You've been great. We've been Nerd News. Good night.